Okay, so I cut out some things I made really complicated in the video. Like, there's one part I was trying to say. When you're learning to do an isolation, it's going to be easier it's going to be hard to go fast. So, you'll be doing it, and then whenever you're trying to go from here, you get as far as you can go, and you're trying to go to the other side. When you're trying to learn that motion, it's going to be hard to go fast, so your hoop is going to go off to the side, whichever hand you're using. I use my right, so my hoop will go to the right. And that's okay, just keep doing it, get that motion down even though it's going to the side and it's wrong. And then once you learn that motion, once you do it fast, it'll help keep it in place more. And whenever I do this trick, the way I hold my hand is I make a complete fist around the hoop, but there's people who just do it like this. Either way, you can, so just mess around with your hand until you find a way that helps you. And I have a heavy hoop, but I have a really cheap $3 hoop from Walmart. It's bad to actually hoop with, but it's lighter and it's actually easier for me to kind of learn it, because your arm gets tired with a heavy hoop. But it also works better with a heavy hoop. When you're trying to go from side to side, it moves less. I think that's it. So basically, just don't worry if you're having trouble going from one side of the hoop to the other, if it keeps going off to the side, but as long as you're able to get your arm up there and keep the hoop up, once you get the motion down and can go faster, it won't go to the side anymore, at least not as bad. And also, watch other people and you'll notice everybody, no one stays perfectly still, they all move to the side a little bit and stuff too still. So just don't worry about it. Record yourself so you can play it back, because it usually looks a lot better than it feels. So just keep trying and let me know if this video helped. And if you have any questions, I'll try to make a better video. Thanks. To me, this is kind of a hard move, because it's all about visualization rather than your actual motion. You're going to use your peripheral vision. It helps if you either have a forward-facing camera and you can record yourself so you can see yourself like I did, or you can use mirrors. And if you don't have either of those, then you can go outside and stand with the sun behind you. That way you can look at your shadow. And when you're doing this, you grab it, you just move your arm up along to the side. And you're going to use your peripheral vision. You want to try to keep your hoop in the same spot. If you're having trouble, one thing that might help is you can put your hand around the hoop. But just make a circle so you're not actually holding the hoop. The hoop's going in between. That way you know you're trying to keep it around there. That's where you're trying to keep your hoop. And this is the easy part, going from the bottom to right here. You're going to bend your elbow a little bit as you go out to keep it in the same spot. And you're mostly using your shoulder if you're using a big hoop. And then when you get to here, you've got to think of how to go to here. So, when you let go of your hoop, it's going to go to the right. So what I do is I give it a slight push. I have the extra room, I give it just a slight push. And you have to do this part fast, or else it'll go to the side. So you've got to be fast. So I'm right here, I'm going to give it a little push and go to the side. But that's not enough. If I just push and go to the side, my hoop's going to fall down. See, to the side. Your hoop will go down some. And my hoop is over my head, it's at the top of my peripheral vision. So how am I going to keep it in that spot? Well, my hand's right here and my hoop's right here. So when I let go, I'm going to give it a slight push and I'm going to move my hand right here. So I'm going to give it a slight push and move my hand right there. In the hoop. And then you grab it. So right here, I'm going to give it a slight push, move my hand to the top of my peripheral vision, and grab it on the other side. I'm sorry, I think this will actually be easier to see in the slow-mo. It's hard to explain because you just need to find a mirror or something and do whatever it takes to keep the hoop in the same spot. And what helped me with going from here to here was realizing I've got to give it a slight push. There's also this isolation, and I'm still learning. Anyway, so you're going to go from right here, give it a slight push to get the momentum up is what the push is for mostly. Get the momentum up, put your hand to the tip of where your hoop is, and take it to the other side and catch it. And that's how you're going to keep your hoop up to where it's at. I'm hopefully going to find a better way to explain this. I'm sorry. I've got the slow-mo. I'll do it several times, and I'll sit there and just do the back and forth over and over as well. So maybe that'll help.